Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I am so excited to do. It is going to be a new beauty battle, one of my favorite videos to do. This is a series where I put two products that are really similar to each other, similar in price. Typically I like to keep it to products that I both really enjoy. I'm gonna give you the pros and cons, all of my thoughts on each, but at the end I can only choose one winner. I'm gonna let you know if you can only buy one of these products, this is the one that I would recommend. And in today's beauty battle, going head to head are two hot new foundations that a lot of people are talking about. We have from Charlotte Tilbury, Charlotte's Beautiful Skin Foundation, and then from Nars, their Light Reflecting Foundation. I'm really excited to share my thoughts on these foundations. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, before we jump into it, let me share my outfit of the day. So today I just have on some denim jeans and then this kind of like cropped sweater right here. It's actually pretty nice. Here comes Aries, if you could hear her. It was actually pretty nice in Vegas though. Aries and I just went for a little W, that's my dog. It was a nice day, so I'm just gonna run to the grocery store later. So I thought just like a little lightweight sweater would be perfect. I did also just finish filming this makeup look, so this video should already be up, where I am testing a bunch of new makeup. I do have the Nars foundation on today. I have demos with both of these foundations also on my Instagram. If you're not following me over there, I'm March Beauty Word. I do a lot of, little demos over there on my Instagram. Also share a lot of my stories of me and especially of Aries. If you're not following me over there, I definitely would. If you're not subscribed here yet, hope that you will also consider doing that. But like I said, I just finished filming this using the new Bridgerton collection, new products from Nars, new e.l.f. products, Kaja lip products, the Colourpop pressed powder. So that video should already be up on my channel if you want to see how I got this look, but I also link all of my makeup in the description box. So I think that's everything. A lot of times when I do the beauty battle series, I actually have a handful of products. Like I typically do around 4 or so where I'm battling the two products and I do like 4 different categories, but I really wanted to focus it on the foundation since I feel like these are getting a lot of buzz right now, and I've been testing these two pretty consistently. These are really the only foundations I've been wearing for most of January, quite honestly. Like since I got these foundations, these are the ones that I've been wearing. So I am first going to talk about the Charlotte foundation. So I did purchase this one and I purchased it from the Sephora website. So this foundation runs for $44. The shade that I have is 6 neutral, and I think that this is a really nice shade match for me. Maybe just like a touch darker. I don't even feel like it's a full shade too dark for me. Again, runs for $44 and it says it's a 16-hour natural glow foundation with buildable medium coverage to hydrate, smooth, blur pores, and brighten skin. So medium coverage and natural finish. It has hyaluronic acid, rose complex, and Bix active. So it's supposed to hydrate, revitalize skin, reduce visible signs of fatigue for brighter, smoother looking skin, and visibly reduce shine and blurs the look of pores. You do get 1 fluid ounce in here, which is typically pretty standard for foundations. It does come in the plastic packaging and has the pump on it. My dog now has the zoomies. She's also very excited for this beauty battle. This is one of the tougher beauty battles that I've done. I actually mentioned when I was filming this look, I said that I really like both of these foundations. And I said, I really need to film this video. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I'm still just trying to decide on the winner. And I was really hoping my Beautylish Lucky Bag was going to come in. I'd also mentioned while I was filming the Get Ready With Me that I got an alert that I had a package waiting for me. But my Beautylish Lucky Bag is now officially MIA. It has no delivery update. It was supposed to be here last Saturday. It's just stuck in California, which is super frustrating. But when I ran up and saw it wasn't the Beautylish Lucky Bag, I was like, I have to film another video. My makeup is done. I was like, Samantha, you just have to make a decision. You have to. The only reason you're not filming this video is because you haven't made a decision yet, but you have everything else. You've been trying these foundations out for weeks now. Like, you can review both the products. You just have to pick a winner. But I really, really enjoy them. When I started trying the Charlotte foundation, I was like, and I will say, I got a comment on that video from someone saying something along the lines of, you love Charlotte Tilbury as a brand, so of course you're going to love this foundation. Like, this isn't a fair review. Like I said, I bought the foundation myself, even though I review honestly. If I like something, I'll tell you. If I don't like something, I'll tell you, no matter if I buy it, if it's in PR, if it's from a favorite brand, it doesn't matter to me. But that comment really made me laugh, and I wrote back and I said, you clearly haven't watched my past videos on Charlotte Tilbury foundations because I haven't liked them. Her last foundation that was the Flawless the Flawless Airbrush foundation. I absolutely hated it. Like, I didn't give it a good review. So I was like, what? So of course it's frustrating to read those comments, but I can't really let it bother me because you can even see in my first impression video, like my skin looks nice in that video. You can't really like make that up, you know, and I'm like zoomed in, showing you everything. And my skin truly looked really nice. So what I like about this foundation, I like the packaging of it. I just went on vacation. I did do a video of what's in my travel makeup bag, and I did take this foundation. I had just gotten it. I wanted to use it more, but also, you know, this is something that I can throw into a makeup bag or a travel bag. And because of the packaging, I don't have to like worry about it. I also like the pump applicator on it. I think that that's fantastic. Like I said, the shade match was beautiful. It was so easy to blend. I mostly have used this foundation with a sponge. I did try it one time with a brush just to try it out. I used one of these Sigma, it was a Sigma foundation brush, which I use quite frequently, is what I use with the Charlotte Tilbury. I will say that I like using a damp sponge a little bit more, and that's just typically my preference overall. This is a little bit more medium coverage, so I wouldn't want to use my fingers, like a skin tint or something like that, to blend it out. The brush definitely offers you a little bit more coverage, but I actually think the coverage is really nice. It's definitely more like medium buildable. So I didn't think I really needed a brush for that, and I felt like the sponge just made it blend out super smoothly, looked really natural. It's one of those foundations that just kind of immediately becomes a second skin, is how I would describe it. It doesn't look too heavy. It never kind of caked up in weird areas. Sometimes I can get this if foundations are too thick or too heavy. I can get like weird makeup kind of like right in here by my eyebrows or around my nose. I didn't notice any of that all of the times that I've tried the Charlotte Tilbury foundation. It really just kind of becomes that second skin. It's very natural looking, but it does have a little bit of dewiness to it, which I personally prefer. For my skin type, I am more combo, leaning more on the dry side. I'm also 34. So not the most youthful skin, not the most mature skin. And then I do struggle still with acne. I used to have really quite bad hormonal acne. I still do get some breakouts around my mouth and jawline area, and then I do, you know, still struggle with some redness. So when I'm using foundations, I'm really wanting to, you know, just have it be kind of like my skin, but better. Some nice light, medium, buildable coverage, and then being able to cover those red marks and kind of smooth and even out my skin tone is what I'm looking for. But I also like foundations that do give me a little bit of a glow, a little bit of luminosity, a little bit of dewiness without being too overboard. For the Charlotte, one thing that I will say, if you have oily skin, I don't know if this would be your absolute favorite, and I would definitely recommend watching some reviews from people with oily skin if you do have oily skin to see what they say. With this one, I think it leans a little bit more on the dewy side versus how the Nars does. But for this one, if you use, like when I use my pressed powder, I don't think that it's too shiny. I don't think that it breaks down too quickly or anything like that. So again, I would just say obviously to, you know, probably watch some reviews of those with oily skin, but for my combo and leaning a little bit more dry, I thought this foundation looked really, really beautiful on me. I also really did enjoy the wear time on it. I've worn it for many, many hours throughout the day. Our weather right now in Las Vegas isn't like super hot or anything, so I wasn't putting it under like extreme conditions. I ended up not wearing makeup in on my Mexico trip, so I couldn't really tested under those elements there, because I usually just don't wear makeup when I'm on those types of vacations. But for the weather here and for staying up, you know, some nights I'm out pretty late at night, and I thought that this foundation held up really well. I never felt the need to do any sort of touch-ups or anything like that. And I just thought it made my skin look so beautiful. It felt good, it looked good, the wear time was good. I'm so impressed with this foundation, and I'm so happy that I am, just because Charlotte's foundations have not typically been a favorite in the past, but this one to me truly became a favorite as soon as I started trying it. And even the more times that I tried it, I just liked it more and more. And it's one of those foundations that I just think makes my skin look so beautiful. When I take pictures with it on, I'm like, wow, your skin is looking great today. I'm super pleased about that. Again, this retails for $44. I highly recommend both of these foundations, but Charlotte one, super beautiful. Let's hop over to the Nars. from Nars, we have their new Light Reflecting Foundation. So this one retails for $49, so they're pretty similar in price. Retails for $49 for the 1 fluid ounce, again, pretty standard. The shade that I use is M2, which is Santa Fe. Again, this is what I have on my face today. This is a really good shade match. I would say the shade match for this is better than the one from Charlotte. So that is a really good shade match for me. This one says it's an advanced makeup skincare hybrid foundation with a natural finish that quickly blurs and smooths while visibly improving skin's clarity over time. Medium coverage, natural finish once again. Some of the highlighted ingredients, biomimetic oat, Japanese lily turf, and cacao peptides and milk thistle. So this is to visibly improve clarity by reducing the appearance of redness, supports a strong skin barrier by helping maintain moisture, and minimizes the negative effect of blue light and environmental stressors. This foundation is also beautiful. I'm so impressed with both of these. Like, I can't keep saying like how hard this beauty battle is for me, because this foundation is also stunning. It is, once again, very easy to apply. This one is, I would say, almost just a little bit liquidier than the Charlotte Tilbury, but I still prefer to use a damp sponge with this one. The coverage to me is a little bit lighter on the Nars than the Charlotte Tilbury, but you can build it up. In today's Trying New Makeup, I do build up the foundation so you can see that you can get more of a light medium or a medium buildable coverage with this. This is one that when I did use a brush, and I used the BK Beauty foundation brush with the one from Nars, I actually really liked that too. So it could be one, again, it's just kind of depending on what type of coverage, or obviously just your preference anyways, but maybe if you do kind of just want to go right to that medium buildable, you could use the brush with this one, and I think that it looks really pretty, or you could use the sponge and just build it up a couple of times. Once again, with this one, it has such a natural finish to it, but once again, I feel like it has that hint of dewiness. I would say the Charlotte Tilbury is more, but for the Nars, it's just a little bit, which I like on my dry skin, but I think if you have oily skin, you would like this one too. I don't find it to be too over the top, but again, I don't have oily skin, so I don't want to speak for my oily skin friends out there. I would say watch their reviews. But this one has also impressed me so much. Once again, wear time on it is super beautiful. It doesn't break down too quickly. I don't get that foundation buildup anywhere weird or anything like that. And it's one of those that once I put it on, I'm just like, wow, I look really pretty today. My skin looks really nice today. It covers, it smooths, it gives me that even skin tone. Both of these foundations I think are so close to one another because to me I feel like they're really similar to one another, because once again, I feel like it's just kind of that second skin type of foundation, just like the Charlotte Tilbury. For both of these foundations, I do not feel the need or the urge to wear my Dior Powder No Powder. And if you know me and if you've been around my channel, the Dior Powder No Powder is an absolute favorite of mine, but also that is a foundation fixer. I can wear the worst foundation in my collection and the Dior Powder No Powder will somehow make it look good again. But with both of these foundations, I do not feel it is necessary to go for something like the Dior. And that to me is a pretty big deal, because even a lot of my foundations that I really enjoy, it's like, you know, I'm still gonna go ahead and use the Dior. For the Charlotte, I mostly used it with the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Powder because I just thought those would make a good match. Nars did release their Light Reflecting Pressed Powder, which I tried with this, but honestly, I think the Charlotte Tilbury is a good match for this one. I'm still kind of on the fence about that powder from Nars, but I will have that in an upcoming ranking video. But for me, I think the Charlotte, just the light pressed powder is a really nice one for Nars too. To me, when I set both of these foundations, for me, the Nars, when I use a powder, it can kind of lean a little bit more towards the matte side, which again is why I was saying if you have oily skin, that might be a little bit more friendly. Whereas with the Charlotte Tilbury, it definitely takes down some of the dewiness. Not that I think that's overly dewy, but it kind of takes down a little bit, but you still kind of get that glowy look to it. So once again, you can kind of play around with your preferred finish and all of that. But the foundations remind me so much of one another. If I had to pick just based on shade match alone, I would pick the Nars because I think the shade match is like, this is like one of the best shade matches I've had on a foundation in a very long time. You get the 1 fluid ounce in each. There's only, what, I think it's a $5 price difference between the two. They're both available on a lot of different retailers. The Nars, it does have 36 shades in their shade range, and the Charlotte Tilbury has 30 shades. So they're pretty similar when it comes to that. Like, I was really trying to look at everything to try to figure out, like, is there something that pushes one more over the edge? They also both have the skincare ingredients in here. I mean, these are just so similar. The packaging I like on both. I like them for different reasons. The glass bottle is, you know, a little bit, it just like kind of looks a little bit nicer. It does also have the pump, which I forgot to mention that. So we have the glass bottle over here. You know, the Charlotte Tilbury is a little bit more friendly. I'm not so worried about it falling off my messy desk and breaking and that sort of thing. This is the hardest beauty battle I think I have done. I'll say when I sat down and I started to film, I was having a hard time, and I wanted to kind of talk through the pros and cons and kind of lay it all out there. But I was like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the Charlotte Tilbury. Like, I think I just like my skin a little bit more, you know, a nod to the packaging. It's a little bit on the cheaper side, if you will. It's a few dollars cheaper and that sort of thing. But as I'm sitting here, and as I was saying all of my pros and cons, I'm gonna give it to the Nars. That's surprising to me. I have surprised myself with this beauty battle because I really thought it was gonna be the Charlotte, but the more I talked about it, the more that both Aries and I agree that this beauty battle is going to go to the Nars. I think if you could only buy one, they're so similar, but I kind of wanted to give it to Nars because I think it's a little bit more, I don't want to say easier to work with, but it's like, what is it that you want that day? Maybe you want a more light coverage. You can get that with the Nars. Maybe you want to build it up a little bit more. You can get that with the Nars. It's so natural just with that little bit of dewiness, but maybe you don't want to be overly dewy like what the Charlotte might give you. You just kind of want that straight natural finish that the Nars is going to give it to you. I think it's going to be the more skin type friendly out of the two of them. I think more people will be able to use the Nars versus the Charlotte Tilbury. They're both beautiful. If you wanted to buy both of them, I would definitely recommend both of them. But if you're like, you know what, 40 some dollars, almost $50, that's a lot for a foundation. Samantha, tell me, I can only buy one. Which one should I get? Nars. It's gonna be the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation. Okay. Well, that's it. That's it for today's video. There's today's beauty battle. Huh, kind of surprised myself there at the end, but I would love to hear your thoughts, of course. Have you tried either of these foundations? Were you interested in either of them? You were just kind of waiting to see the reviews coming in and seeing what people are thinking. Again, I will link both of my videos where I'm trying this on camera. I'll link the Instagram demos so you can see, because maybe even with something like, you know, I said I chose the Nars. Obviously, I also recommend the Charlotte, but maybe your skin type kind of will help you decide one way or another if you think one is going to be better for you, or if the coverage or the finish is going to be better for you personally. Of course, it's makeup, we're all different, we have different preferences, but I love doing these beauty battle videos, and this was a really, really fun one to film, and I'm glad I was able to choose a winner, and I hope that you found this video helpful. So that is it for today. If you enjoyed this beauty battle, make sure to give this one a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next video.